Hey guys, it is day number 6 of 42 days in a row of online business. I just got back from Phoenix. Great weekend at the Fitposium, and I just went and trained at Gold's Gym, the Mecca here in Venice. And so I wanted to jump on really quick. I'm super tired. I'm going to bed in like 5 seconds, but I got to get my Facebook Live in today. So this is a question I get asked a lot, and if you are in Action Academy, we're going to be talking about this in a week or two. Make sure you guys join Action Academy if you have not already. The link is right here. Okay, we're back. So I hear a lot of people say, well, you know, I don't really know who I'm speaking to, so I don't know who to write to online. So you guys know we've talked about the trust business. We've talked about the idea that you have to kind of earn someone's trust over time by using your content, using your expertise, using your experiences, sharing your stories, sharing some quirks about you and some personality and all that kind of stuff. And so we're building up this kind of level of trust with people over the internet. And the way that we do that is through content. So it can be written content, it can be video content, it can be images, it can be podcasts, audio, etc. So now that you know that you have to create stuff so that people come to know you, there's a question of like, okay, who exactly am I writing to? So if you do like a traditional kind of business course, or a lot of online business courses will tell you, you know, you need to find your avatar. Your avatar is the person that you're speaking to. So maybe it's maybe it's a 35-year-old mom of 2 young kids who, you know, works full time and just wants to be healthy for her kids, wants her clothes to fit, and maybe wants to lose 10 pounds over the next year or something like that, right? So we get very okay, and we're back. So here's the key. A lot of times, especially if you're a trainer, you go, well, in person, I have a 19-year-old dude who wants to gain muscle. And then I also have, a menopausal woman who wants to stay strong as she ages. Then I also have, I have a 35-year-old working kind of busy executive man. So you might make the mistake of thinking that that's who you should talk to online, but it's really important to remember that the online space and the in-person space are completely different. So for example, if you're training at a gym or you're training somewhere locally, you're going to be kind of at the mercy of who, and we're back. So you're kind of going to be at the mercy of who lives in that area. So that's fine, but that's probably not who you're going to be speaking to online. So remember, online, you get to be very specific with your message. So the one thing that's really cool is years ago, maybe 5, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when the online kind of stuff was just getting started, not as many people were doing it, right? There's more people than ever now. So we had maybe like chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. There were like 3 flavors of online personality types or whatever, right? 3 flavors of ice cream. Now, if you go and get ice cream up the street, there's like 10 different flavors of, chocolate alone. So you can get mocha chip, you can get, death by chocolate, you can get all this different stuff. And the same thing in the online space, because there's so many people who are coaching, and there's also way more people who are willing to be coached online. The client to message matching system is really specific now, which is great. So for example, if there's 2 trainers who both have the same level of expertise, but one, likes to drink wine and maybe the other doesn't, that's enough for a client to be like, you know what, that person, because I drink wine too, that's going to be the person that I'm going to relate more to, even if they have the same level of expertise, all else being equal. So the cool thing is that you guys get to, share exactly the things that you know, the things you've experienced, your stories, your personality, and the exact person will start showing up. So to answer this question, at the beginning, don't write for a specific person, just share what you're pumped about, right? So include your expertise, include your experiences, include your stories, your personality, and then we're just gonna wait and we're just gonna see who shows up. So if you start to see like some of the same names, some of the same people, maybe commenting, sending you a DM, things like that, I want you to then, once they start responding or people start noticing, again, this takes time because it's trust, right? So it's probably 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months of just putting out stuff based on what you're excited to talk about. So, but part of that needs to be solutions too, right? So when we talk about your expertise, it needs to be solutions, but it's probably going to be solutions for maybe something you could have used 5 years ago. So for example, if you have a history of yo-yo dieting and you kind of overcame that and you eat more moderately now, maybe you'll share a story of a time where you had a huge binging episode, and then what happened after that and how it made you feel. And all of a sudden, based on that story and that emotion that you're sharing and those details of that story, someone who has had a similar story will start showing up, right? So 3, 4, 5, 6 months of just putting this stuff out. Then you're going to start to notice like some regular kind of people who interact with you or send you a DM or email you or mention it, whatever. And if someone is like an early kind of like fan or reader, then I want you to go and I want you to stalk them. So I want you to go to their Facebook page. I want you to go to other pages that they like, maybe Facebook groups that they're in, and see who that person is, right? So first things first, number 1, we just put stuff out based on what we're excited about. And then 2, we watch who shows up and who naturally is attracted to that content, and then we go and we see who they are. We're like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know that I was going to be attracting this person. I wouldn't have known that had I not just done this kind of like, we call it inbound marketing or attraction marketing, where you put stuff out and you see who shows up. Once people start showing up, then that's when you go and do your market research. That's when you go and you check them out. And then based on who that is, you can start serving that audience who has already naturally started showing up. So this is what I call the audience to message cycle. So you start with a message in mind, your own message, what you're pumped about. You watch and see what audience shows up. And then when they show up, that's when you ask them, hey, what's something that you struggle with when it comes to nutrition or exercise? Or what's your number 1 struggle when it comes to being consistent with these things? And the responses that you get back, even if you only get 1 or 2 responses, that is gold, because this is someone who is naturally attracted to your content, which is awesome. And then you can ask them specifically what they need help with. And then once they respond to you, then you can hone your message based on that feedback. So it's a feed forward cycle, right? You post, you share your expertise, experience, etc. Watch who shows up, ask them questions, and then that helps propagate the wheel of content. So market research is key. If you guys are not in Action Academy, make sure you do that. We're going to be going through a little bit of a module so you guys can start getting some feedback. The feedback that you get is so valuable, not only because they're telling you exactly what they need help with, but they're telling you in their language. So for you and I, maybe we would say something like mindfulness or mindset. A lot of times our clients aren't using those words. They're saying stuff like, oh, I know what to do, I just can't seem to do it. Or, I start out so good and then I just always fall off the wagon. Or, I wasn't good this week, or whatever those kind of sentences that maybe they're using. You can actually turn it around and turn it into a Q&A. You can say, what should you do if you fall off the wagon? What should you do if you know what to do but you can't seem to do it? Now you're attracting even more of that avatar based on your content. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. I call this the audience to message matching cycle. Audience to message matching cycle. So you don't need to know, bottom line, you don't need to know exactly who you're talking to yet. I want you putting out content based on what you're pumped about, and then based on the people who show up, then you know who you're talking to. So by the way, everyone who's reading your stuff now or looking at your posts or following on social, especially if you're getting started, they're probably not going to end up being your like fans or readers long term, because most of them are probably family, friends, acquaintances, whatever. They're interested, but they might not be the exact person that's going to be attracted to your stuff. And that's okay, but at this point you just need to put it out there and then see who shows up based on that. And the cool thing is that you get to write whatever you want. You get to share whatever you want. And that makes this whole thing a lot more easy to be compliant, because you don't have to try and be anything that you're not. So authenticity is a compliance tool too, right? So share what you love, share what you're excited about, share your expertise, share solutions, anything that you want, and then let's build up that trust and then see based on that who comes in, and then we can start asking them questions. So make sure you're in Action Academy. We're gonna be going through this stuff and exactly how to do it. I'm gonna tell you exactly how to get feedback in Action Academy. Check the link and we will see you there. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.